If you've ever sat down to make something and the first thought was, I don't have the right stuff yet, then this video is for you. Sometimes that's true, but a lot of the time it's just a way to put off starting. So today I'm going to grab something very ordinary from my kitchen pantry, food packaging that's meant to be recycled and thrown away when it's no longer in use, and show you exactly how good something like this can be for collage material. So no shopping, no waiting, just using already something that you have within reach. All right, are we ready? Let's head over to the kitchen. So I have something like a pasta box I could look at. There is an interesting image here, plus this font is interesting, so possibly I could cut out this whole section here and use. Then there's lots of cans, and for these types of cans, you could actually peel off the paper label and use portions of it, depending on the colors, if you're interested in using those. I have been experimenting with eating sardines lately, so I've just been buying loads of different kinds of sardines. That's an interesting package. This is actual paper as well, very lightweight. You could just tear it off and use portions of that rather than the kind of cardboard, heavier cardstock. But this is beautiful. Look at the illustration and the fonts and all the work that was put into designing something like this. And it was just meant to be recycled and thrown away. So this is really nice. I also have this little one that is for tuna. This is actually the one I think I'm going to grab and use in my collage today. Here in my household, we drink a lot of tea, and in my drawer, I've got loads of really interesting packaging that I could potentially use in collage. But I found something interesting that I want to collage with, so this is what I'm heading back with. All right, so here is what I have returned with. I'm going to open it up and cut out a section of what I want to use. Now, collages don't need to be complicated. You can have something like 3 pieces of papers that you are working with to create a collage. Start with 3. That is the best number. Once you have 3, then you can see if you want to add additional elements, but starting with 3 is the best advice I think that I have. Now, looking at this, there's loads of colors. The design is really heavy. There's so much going on. There's this illustration in the middle. Then there's, I don't know what you call it, calligraphy, not sure. Then there's the print at the bottom. There is this title text up here, right? So much going on, which means this is a very busy piece. And I want to look for some additional pieces of papers that are going to not clash with this and not fight for attention. This is essentially the hero piece. It is the focal point. So I want to find papers, look for papers that are going to just kind of add to it, but not take away from all that is happening right here. Since this is so busy, I also want to look for kind of papers that are a little bit more quiet. So that's kind of what I have in mind. I'm also going to be looking for papers and things that will pull from some of these colors. There's a lot of inspiration in the colors here. Mainly this tomato color, the yellowish, and maybe the blue. There's also pink, but those 3, the tomato, the yellow, and the blue, those are the ones that I'm primarily looking for. So I have an idea right away when I'm thinking of papers that are a little bit more muted. I have something like this. I could take a portion of this, right? So I could add a piece onto this. I also have some handmade papers, something like this with loads of texture. This might work as well. I also have another, I think this is a Japanese paper, very neutral as well, very slight pattern in here. That's kind of good. So those are my 3 options for the really neutrals. And then I was thinking about another type of solid pattern that might work with this. And I had some ideas that I would look through business envelope pattern designs. This could possibly work, kind of like that. This one also, maybe that blue matches a little bit better with that. Now I think I'm going to try and use something like these. 3 papers, that's all you need. So I'm going to take my 3 papers and I'm going to see what I can do with it. Now I'm thinking about, where do I want to put this collage? Do I want to put it on an index card, maybe something the size of a postcard, like a 4x6? Or I have this little collage notebook. It's called Found and Kept. If you've seen my shorts, you know this book. It's where I put things I come across in everyday life like this. You don't go looking for special materials, you just pay attention to what's already around you. And when something catches your eye, it goes in here. This one happens to be made for this kind of journal, but it could go in any kind of notebook or whatever you happen to have on hand. The book isn't the point, the noticing is the point. If you do want a dedicated spot for this kind of thing, this is the one I use. It's inexpensive. I'll link it below, but that's optional. This works either way. Okay, so let me take my pieces and see what I can do with them. So I'm just going to tear off a chunk. I think I want this in a long vertical way. Play with this. That's kind of interesting. Same with this one. I still might use this one. I'm auditioning pieces. I'm trying to see what's going to work. Okay, that's interesting. And then I have my little additional piece of this. Would that work? It's kind of a big spot empty over here. This is already cut rather than my wallpaper, so let me try this one. If I do this and this, is that too boring? Let's try this after all. I like that there's that little bit of white in there. Okay, I think I like this already, and I already could see that I need to add more than my 3 pieces, but that's okay. If I start with 3, I know that I can always do more after. But I like how I can see some of this white and the blue. This is too long, so I'm going to cut off some of this, right? And I need to start gluing this down so that I can play with additional pieces that are going to come in. So I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark where I want these pieces to land so that I don't forget essentially where they go. Okay. For this last one, I'm going to use double-sided tape because it's a thicker cardstock. Actually, let me see if I can peel off some of this. I don't like this thickness all the time. Well, that helps just a little bit. Okay, I'll do that. I still want to use double-sided tape. Okay, there we are. Okay, So my 3 pieces are down. Now, do I want to add something else? Yeah, I think so. There's a lot, even though there is the piece of wallpaper here, it's still very plain. So something could go there and also maybe something down here. So my options are rubber stamping, postage stamps, any small little embellishments, things like that. And I already had an idea. This fishwife, so fishing lines, I thought about that. I also thought about the fact that this is a woman. And I do have this piece of gold metal. It's paper. It's not metal, but it looks like metal. But it's a woman's hand. And I thought it would be cool to put this in here. So I will use that. And then I also do want to do some kind of rubber stamping at the top, I think. So my options are something like wind, breeze. That would be kind of cool. I could do that. And the cool thing about this is that it would touch this piece. It would touch this piece and it would also go off. So I could use all 3 like that. Or I also have this, which is just kind of a squiggle, but it does kind of look like fishing line. So I could go this way up or this way also over. Which one? A or B? Actually, I think I'm gonna go with B. This looks simpler and it kind of mirrors the hand. Let's see if I could do, you always play with orientation, see if there's something else that you want to do. I could go and I'll do all of these things, right? I do definitely think I like it like this. Okay, do I want the fishing line or do I want the breeze? Let's go with the breeze. Okay, last decision, color. What color do I want? Blue, black, tomato, yellow, no. Blue or black, probably. I'm gonna go with black. And that's what we got. Now I just need to fill out this little piece right here. So that's it, a tuna box. I didn't buy any craft materials for this. I didn't wait until I had the right paper or the right substrate to put it on or the right mood. I just picked up something that was already in my house and I started. And that's kind of the point, that you can take a piece of food packaging and make it work as a component in a collage. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I don't have the right supplies yet, I want you to stop and take a look around your environment in your home and see if there is something that you can use for collage material. If this is helping you think about things around you a little bit differently, do hit the like button. It helps me know to continue making these kinds of videos. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go to your pantry or cabinet or drawer and find a piece of packaging you would never have thought to use for something like this. And then actually see if you can make a collage with it. It doesn't have to be huge, it can be something small, whatever you've got time for. So I have put this challenge in my community tab here in YouTube. You can post a photo of the collage that you've made and share it with us. So let's see what's hiding in your pantry. The link will be pinned in the comments section so that you can see where to go. If you click that link, it'll take you to the post and then you can post your photo there. Now, if you're looking for some more ideas of what to do, what kinds of projects to do with these little scraps and things floating around your desk, then check out this video right here.